Our whole goal was to empower this community, and not as lawyers winning battles for our clients, but helping clients win battles for themselves.
When I think about where the caucus is today at 40 years, I'm so proud of what we've been able to accomplish. The caucus today is in many ways the strongest that we've ever been. But when we look at what the need is in the community, we need to be so much stronger. And so I think the next stage of the caucus is just being much more ambitious than we've ever been about what we can accomplish and how impactful we can be.
The goal of the employment program is to advocate and fight for the rights of low-income workers, primarily from our communities, from the surrounding Asian communities. Most of the people who came to our clinic came by word of mouth, and they were not only folks who were monolingual or LEP, didn't know what their rights were, and I really think that we're serving a population that otherwise isn't reached.
The caucus, clearly immigrant rights is on the agenda. It still is on the agenda. Our community has changed quite a bit in the last 20, 25 years. And I think for the caucus, it's trying to be innovative, be creative, and certainly open to what the new changing demographics are.
We are part of the San Francisco Immigrant Legal and Education Network. This is a pretty novel collaboration. The Asian Law Caucus is a pretty big part of the network.
You know, it's really interesting when you look at the history of Asian Americans in this country. There's actually quite a lot of links. You go back to 1880s and you see the Chinese Exclusion Act. And the same thing happens in its own way in 1940s with the Japanese American community. And then you come into 2000 and September 11th and you find that folks are being asked to register under the special registration program and then the unlawful detentions. So there's actually a lot of links between these communities, and what you have to find is some institution, some organization that can bind them together. Otherwise, they're just separate experiences.
Hi, I'm Arthi Kohli. I'm the Deputy Director at Advancing Justice Asian Law Caucus. Thank you so much for having us here today. It's a privilege. And thank you to Abby and her team for making us feel so welcome. I do this work because I came to the United States when I was 7 years old from India. My parents had no jobs and no money, and I saw how they struggled. And now that as a lawyer I'm in a position of privilege, I want to give back to my community. And that's why I feel so fortunate to work at the caucus. One of our board members described the caucus as your badass best friend who stands up for what's right. And that's really how I feel every day when I go in. And the reason that I'm here today is that we want to invest and support in Aspire, our undocumented Asian youth group. You all may not know, but there are 1.4 million undocumented Asians in the United States. And you don't often hear their voices. And one of the reasons is there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of shame in the community, and there's a lot of distrust. And Aspire is one of the few groups that has come out and stated that it's okay. It's okay to be undocumented, and it's that undocumented communities deserve human rights. Some of the successes that Aspire has had is they've stopped the deportations of their own members. They have pressured the president to enact temporary immigration relief. And actually this project that we're proposing is related to that piece of work. We're asking for $100,000, and for the next 12 months, we will train a dozen new undocumented youth leaders to go out and work with Asian immigrant communities in San Francisco. And part of that work will be getting them to sign up for the temporary immigration relief that we feel is forthcoming, and also sign up for all kinds of resources that San Francisco actually currently offers. Healthy SF, which is healthcare, and municipal IDs, driver's licenses that are now available to undocumented immigrants. The data shows that Asian undocumented immigrants are not coming forward. They're not even taking advantage of the resources that are currently available, much less fighting for more. And so we feel that Aspire is an essential part of bringing the community together with the resources. The project would train as undocumented youth to speak to legislators, to speak to ethnic media, to engage with their communities and conduct outreach in places of worship and community halls. And it's really hard. Social movements are hard to sustain. San Francisco has given birth to many, but sustaining them is a challenge. And at the caucus, we're not only committed to sustaining Aspire, but we want Aspire to thrive. We need a new generation of undocumented youth leaders in this country, and San Francisco can lead the way. So I'd like to introduce you to Hung Mei Pang, my colleague.
Hi everyone, my name is Hung Mei, and I am a community organizer and also a member at Aspire, and I stand for undocumented Asian people leading the fight for equality and justice. I came to the United States when I was 14, about 12 years ago, after the stock market and the financial market in Asia melted down. My parents lost everything, and under the auspices of a green card, my dad took all of us in the family and moved to the United States. Later we learned that his boss was actually a scam. He didn't apply for a green card for us or a visa, and we became undocumented that way. I've been undocumented ever since. So growing up undocumented is one of the biggest secrets I had to keep from my classmates in high school and college. And you know, it's brought up many challenges. I have lived in crappy apartments. I have, you know, sort of been hungry. But really, it's about people saying no to you over and over and over again. No to driver's licenses when I turned 16, no to college when I turned 18, no to jobs when I came out of college. And I think, you know, the biggest fear in all of that is that I might be separated from my family at any point in time, that they could be taken away from me and the other way around. And I think that really was the reason why Aspire got started, is that undocumented Asian youth came together and prevented that reality from happening to an undocumented Asian youth who is in San Francisco even today. We succeeded in keeping him in our community because we said he is our friend and he shouldn't feel alone. And with that came the safe space that is Aspire, where I didn't have to feel alone because I felt like I was the only Asian person at an immigration rally. Also with that same energy, that spirit, and that momentum, we've supported multiple legislation such as the California Dream Act that allows for undocumented students to get access to higher education. We're right now fighting for equal health access for all Californians. And really, the idea is that, you know, we are making resources available to our community, and being able to build our leadership allows us to really become a cornerstone in making San Francisco a more vibrant community and more vibrant city for all people to live in. So thank you very much.
Fantastic. Can you share with us how you recruit and select emerging youth leaders? Yeah. And the training process that they go through to become like this?
Sure.
Fantastic.
Yeah. We just snap our fingers. It goes like that, yeah.
Yeah, so right now, Aspire has about 80 members, and many of them have heard about Aspire through word of mouth, through social media, really also through community engagement, because it is a very highly stigmatized issue, especially within the Asian American community. So part of it is really tapping into our current existing membership and thinking through where are the relationships, where are the networks. So going to high schools where our current members are alumni of, colleges, building relationships that way. But also we're bringing back this year our Summer Leadership Academy. That is a focused, intensive 6-week program that helps undocumented youth train and build their leadership skills, how to talk to media, how to do public speaking without freaking out. And
they train each other, and then we have professional trainers come in as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Over 6 weeks in the summer.
But really, the training process that we're wanting to envision for this coming year is throughout the next 12 months. So, and learning how to do a campaign by actually participating in one. Yeah.
Can you describe the impact that recruiting the youth into this program will have on their own community, their extended family? If they're less fearful for being an undocumented member of our community, what does that mean for the broader community, and how does it strengthen San Francisco?
Yeah, I mean, it's really a process of empowerment, of feeling that I belong and that I am a member of this community. I do not have to hide. And there's really something incredibly powerful about being able to own up to your status and to share that with people and not have them condemn you and have them agree that you deserve human rights. And that's one of the reasons why Aspire is so important, because nothing is more powerful than the lived experience. I mean, I can talk about it all I want, but someone who's lived it, them talking about their own experience, I mean, that can move mountains. And that's how the president has moved. That's how national policy has moved. If we want a humane immigration system in the future, it rests on shoulders of these folks.
Yeah, I think also just thinking about how we are participants of the community, so not living in the shadows mean that, we're able to more openly participate. We're workers, we work in the community, being able to change legislations that allows us to live more openly, allows us to openly participate in the economy of San Francisco. We're students. We bring a lot of insight into the classrooms of the lived experience. But I think more importantly, San Francisco is such a wonderful place because it is that diversity. And many of our members, you think like Asian undocumented people, you think like Asia, right? But you don't think like Peru or Brazil and, all of these different like nuances in what makes up undocumented Asian people, and I think it's really challenging those stereotypes too, and really making San Francisco an open, progressive place for all people to live in is one of the goals that we want to achieve.
Thank you.